Hi again, all my crafty friends. If you are new here, I'm Dawn, and you have found Designs by Gaddis. If you enjoy DIYs, flips, and everything farmhouse, you are in the right place. On my channel, I love bringing you fun, simple, and affordable home decor DIYs on a budget. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you like what you see, hit the bell notification and leave me a comment. Now for our first DIY. Today I am participating in a patriotic challenge hosted by Theresa B DIY and co-hosted by Sammi at Unicorn Dust Designs. These wonderful creators will be donating all proceeds from their channels in May to the Fisher House, which is a home away from home offered at no cost to military and veteran families while their loved one receives specialized care. Please help by donating to the Fisher House. I will leave a link for this in my description. I will also have links to both Theresa and Sammy's channels, along with a link to this patriotic challenge. Now for our first DIY. I saw these adorable wooden baskets online for $60. I thought they were stinking cute, but I will not give $60 for something I can make for $10. This was a simple project. I just hope I can explain it well enough for y'all. If you have any questions about this project, just leave me your question in the comments and I'll answer it for you. For the bottom of the box, I cut down regular size paint sticks to the length I wanted the box to be. I used tumbling tower blocks as my spacers between the slats of the box. I then added Gorilla Glue and hot glue to the sticks on what will be the inside of the box. Next, I used 2 square dowels at the end of the slats to hold everything together. I used a large square to keep all the sides of the box square while I was gluing them all together. Here you can see where I placed the dowels on the inside ends of the sticks. I placed a paint stick even with the sides and the bottom and marked it with a pencil. I placed glue inside of these marks and then held the piece in place until the hot glue had time to set up. I did the same thing on the other side of the box. I glued tumbling tower blocks in all 4 corners to give me something to glue the paint sticks to, and began working my way up the box with the paint sticks. I placed tumbling tower blocks between the sticks as spacers and marked it. I added glue inside the marks and held the board in place. I worked my way around the entire box doing this until I had 2 slats on each side. I cut down pieces of the paint sticks long enough to go in each of the outside corners of the box and glued them to the sides. This covered up all the raw edges of the box. I went around all the joints in the box and removed any excess glue with a razor blade. I used apple barrel flag red paint to paint the entire box inside and out, and then used Waverly plaster chalk paint to distress it. I just love how this little box turned out. I'll have a video showing the other 2 boxes out in a couple of weeks. And now for DIY number 2. I used a small Dollar Tree wire wreath and bandanas to make this patriotic wreath. I cut the bandanas into strips about an inch or so wide. I didn't measure anything, just eyeballed it. After I had the strips cut, I began tying them onto the wreath. I placed a red strip, a white strip, and then a blue strip around the inside wire of the frame. For the outside wire, I used 2 strips of each color in the same pattern as before. I left the middle wire bare, but you could also do this if you want your wreath to be a little fuller. Once I had the entire wreath covered with the bandana strips, I fluffed it up some and hot glued this patriotic truck to the front of it. I then fluffed the wreath up around the truck. I love how this wreath turned out, and it was so simple to do. Up next, DIY number 3. I sorted the beads out by color and used the red, white, and blue beads for the garland. I used a piece of twine and placed some painter's tape on the end. This helps to keep the twine from unraveling and makes it easier to put the beads on the twine. I began placing the beads on the twine in a simple red, white, and blue pattern. The white beads I used were the larger ones, and the red and blue beads were a size down from the white ones. I decided to pour the beads out and sort them by size. This made it easier when I was going to grab a bead. Don't know why I didn't think of that to start with. I continued adding the beads until I was happy with the length of the garland. I found this little wooden tag in my stash and decided to incorporate it with the beaded garland. I painted the entire tag with Waverly white chalk paint. On one side of the tag, I used Dollar Tree stickers saying USA. I lined them on the tag, rubbed them down, and removed the plastic covering. On the other side of the tag, I used a small crafter stick to draw out the area for the stars and stripes. I used apple barrel flag red paint and Waverly white chalk paint to paint the stripes for the flag. I used Master's Touch Ultramarine for the area of the stars. I used a small detail brush and some white Waverly chalk paint to create stars in the blue area. For the tassel, I had some blue ribbon, white ribbon, and small red and white gingham ribbon. I also used a small piece of nautical rope I found in my scrap pile. I stacked everything together. I used the twine from the garland and tied it around the top of the tassel and added a dab of hot glue. I wrapped the twine around the tassel until I had covered up the hot glue and then trimmed the top of the tassel. I untwisted the rope pieces to give the tassel more volume. I attached the tag to the garland by tying a knot at the other end and adding a dab of hot glue. And that was it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this patriotic tassel. I love it, and it looks amazing on my tier tray. If you haven't already, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. I upload weekly home decor DIY videos, and you know you don't want to miss any of them. So go ahead and hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when I upload a new video. Until next time, happy crafting!